Someone you trust is secretly jealous. Archangel Michael is about to reveal their name. Don't let them sabotage you again. This is not gossip. This is not drama. This is a divinely timed alert, a holy interruption from the courts of heaven. Heaven is speaking now. And what may sound like suspicion is actually discernment. What may feel like discomfort is actually revelation. The time for subtle signs and spiritual whisperings has passed. The trumpet is sounding, and the watchman of heaven, Archangel Michael, has taken his place at the gates. He has drawn his sword. The hour has arrived. At the watch between midnight and dawn, the moment where night bends toward new mercies, the veil grows thin. It is in this hour that heaven leans in, when hidden things begin to rise from beneath the surface. What was buried in smiles and disguised in celebration now trembles under the weight of divine exposure. Josie has ascent, and heaven has coded. Michael, the sentinel of justice, has heard the cry of your confusion. He has witnessed the sleep that escapes you. He has seen the smile that felt like a shiver. And now, he comes not to accuse, but to uncover. This message is not for the curious or the casual. This is not for those browsing for entertainment. This is surgical. It is sent only for those who have felt the ache of misalignment in their circle, for those who have smiled through suspicion, who have questioned their intuition, and who have asked God in the privacy of their pain, "Why do I feel this way around them?" You are not paranoid. You are not petty. You are discerning. And now, heaven confirms what your spirit has been whispering. But to receive this revelation, your spirit must be still. Silence is a key. Do not strive. Do not retaliate. Do not rehearse your pain. Position your heart like a watchman, for only the postured will hear. Only the obedient will be shown. The jealous one will be revealed not for revenge but for protection. Not to shame them, but to reposition you. You cannot afford another delay. You cannot afford another season of friendly sabotage. What looks like loyalty but breathes in envy has cost you too much already. By the end of this divine message, you will walk away with clarity. You will have a spiritual checklist to guard your heart and household. You will be given prophetic phrases to release over your life for protection. You will know what heaven wants you to see, and you will know how to stand strong when it is revealed. So now, clear your mind. Breathe deep. Clean your space. Prepare your heart. A name is coming. The veil is lifting. And this is not meant to shame you. This is meant to set you free. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 666 is now surrounding you. Listen. The atmosphere around you changed last night. Angels are gathering. There was a shift, a stirring, a stillness so sharp you could feel it in your bones, and whether you were wide awake or lost in uneasy sleep, your spirit heard it. A hush fell over the heavens, and a divine meeting was held with your name on the scroll. The council of the Most High convened. The Archangel stood at attention. The trumpet of exposure has sounded. Yes, last night, while you lay turning in your bed, wondering why your peace had been tampered with, why familiar laughter suddenly stung like betrayal, the heavens began moving on your behalf. A name is about to rise to the surface. A veil is about to tear. And not just any veil, the one hiding the hand that has quietly been against you, dressed in celebration, but seeded with sabotage. Right now, I summon the authority of Archangel Michael, the Prince of Heavenly Armies, the one who guards the gates of justice and shields the anointed from unseen arrows. Michael, we call upon your sword, the one that divides truth from illusion. We call upon your trumpet, the one that pierces through false peace and awakens sleeping discernment. I speak to the listener now. Lift your hands or bow your head. Take a breath, deep, long, intentional. Heaven is not waiting. Heaven is speaking, and you must receive. Within the next 2 hours of honest prayer, a name will rise in your spirit. This name may come suddenly, as a whisper, a vision, a single word in a dream. Or it may come subtly, as a flash of memory you thought was harmless, a moment that now reveals a pattern. You'll feel it. You'll know it. It will strike you not with fear, but with a quiet, weighty certainty. This is the one who has been leaking your grace. This is not guesswork. This is not accusation. Heaven declares, the throne has turned its eye upon this matter, and Michael has stepped forward, not to create chaos, but to extract it. You must understand, this is not about your ego. This is not about revenge. This is about destiny protection. Some of you are about to step into the next phase of your assignment, but God will not let snakes slip into your promotion. There's an emotional interruption coming. You may be sitting in peace, laughing with people you love, when a familiar pain returns. A comment you once brushed off will sting again. A look, a pause, a withheld moment of support. And that's when you'll feel it. They were never fully for me. You see, jealousy wears a mask and mimics friendship. It mimics care. But the eyes always betray the heart. They celebrate you with clenched fists. They pray for you while secretly hoping your light dims enough for theirs to shine brighter. They offer to help you just enough to stay close, but never enough to see you soar. They gossip about you using your own trust as material. They disappear when favor finds you, or worse, they pretend to support while quietly placing obstacles in your path. This message is not for everyone. No, this word lands only on the faithful. Only on those who stood in secret obedience while others mocked. On those who have sown in silence and watched others take credit. You are not being paranoid. You are being divinely informed. Jealousy always targets rising destinies. Envy aims its arrows not at the idle, but at the elevated. Now breathe. In and out. Slow your mind. Still your spirit. Say this aloud. Archangel Michael, reveal and protect. Again, Archangel Michael, reveal and protect. This is not a moment of shame. This is a moment of strategy. You are not about to descend into petty conflict. You are about to rise into prophetic clarity. This unveiling is for your positioning, your preservation, and your preparation. But hear this. Do not react publicly. Do not confront prematurely. Do not post, announce, or accuse. Let heaven govern the timing. Let the Spirit instruct the strategy. Because when heaven reveals, heaven also instructs. There is a way to what is coming, but there is also grace. Grace to hear. Grace to stand. Grace to act wisely. Type I am anointed in the comments if this message reaches your spirit. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. There is a moment you keep revisiting, though you don't always realize it. A moment buried in comfort. A familiar room, familiar faces, a trusted voice laughing just a little too sharply. You were hosting peace, offering generosity, maybe even opening your home and heart. And they were watching. Not watching with admiration. Not watching with true joy. And no, their eyes were scanning, calculating, measuring your growth against their own hidden bitterness. And in that quiet corner of your life, a seed was planted, a seed of sabotage disguised as support. I didn't come with venom on their tongue. No, jealousy is more clever than that. It dresses in concern. It wraps itself in phrases like, "I just want what's best for you." It leans in, not with a dagger, but with a whisper. "Be careful," they say. "I heard something," they add. But what they heard, they twisted. What they feared was never your failure, it was your rise. You felt it, didn't you? A vague heaviness after their compliments. An emptiness where celebration should have lived. They smiled, but their smile never met their eyes. And then came the confusion. You started second-guessing things you were once so sure of. You began playing back conversations like tapes on rewind, asking yourself, "Did they mean what I think they meant?" Your spirit hath been nudging you. Your sleep has been interrupted. A pressure, low and persistent, has been resting on your chest, not because you are weak, but because your discernment is now fully awake. Heaven has been trying to get your attention. Let's be honest. There are people tracking your life as if it were a competition. Secret watchers. The ones who watch your posts but never congratulate you. The ones who are always one step behind you, not to follow, but to compare. The jealous spirit doesn't always mock. Sometimes it mimics. It studies your flow, your favor, your footsteps, waiting for the moment to plant questions, doubts, or discord in the ears of those who trust you. And still, they sit at your table. Still, they nod as if they are aligned. But their timing betrays them. When it's time to advocate for you, they go quiet. When it's time to show up, they forget. When you succeed, they're busy. Yet somehow, they always have access to the information that could harm you the most. How did they know that? You've asked. Why does this keep happening? You wondered. The answer is not always betrayal. Sometimes, it's proximity that was never meant to be maintained. This is the dissonance that's been disturbing your peace, the flicker of darkness in the middle of celebration. The same voice that comforts also confuses. The same presence that feels supportive also carries a quiet drain. And you've been shrinking your spirit, second-guessing your instincts, blaming yourself. When in truth, a jealous person has been praying your wings would stay clipped. They know something, but not all. They've figured out your pattern. They've watched your rhythms. And they've begun to gently shift situations behind the scenes, tipping decisions, interrupting favor, planting shadows. It's subtle, it's spiritual, and it's strategic. But it will not continue. You've already begun to shrink your circle. You felt the fatigue of constant vigilance, the weight of guarding your own back. You were never meant to carry this alone. Jealousy, when undetected, breeds isolation. It silences your joy, taints your victories, and makes you doubt your worth. But not anymore. Ask yourself now, who celebrates in private but critiques in public? Who disappears when you're rising but shows up when you're vulnerable? Who hears your struggles with excitement masked as empathy? Write it down. Journal it. Every moment, every shift, every phrase. The Holy Spirit uses details. Patterns are prophetic. The clues are not coincidences. They are confirmations. But remember this. Emotional disruption is not a sign of spiritual weakness. It is the rumble before revelation. The unsettled heart is the womb of divine clarity. What's been stirring inside of you isn't anxiety. It's the anointing rising to protect itself. Heaven is about to speak more clearly than ever before. The mask is slipping, and once it does, there will be no more confusion. Type "I am protected" in the comments if this message speaks directly to your situation. Blessing code 8787 is surrounding your heart and your household. If this word is opening your eyes, if it's helping you reclaim peace, clarity, and protection from subtle sabotage, then you are already witnessing the fruit of God's word breaking chains. Every message shared on this channel is a seed sown into the soil of someone else's destiny. I invite you now, not just to receive, but to partner with heaven's assignment through this ministry. Your support helps this message reach the ones on the edge of spiritual collapse, the ones heaven is trying to warn before it's too late. When you sow into this mission through Super Thanks, YouTube membership, or a PayPal gift link in the video description, you're not just giving, you're activating prophetic reach. The word says, the generous will prosper. Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. And today, that promise applies to you. I heard the Spirit say, whoever helps carry this message will reap a harvest of unblocked favor and divine reversal. This is your invitation to respond not to me, but to what God is doing through this word. Give boldly. Give prophetically. Give because you know what it's like to feel unseen. And now, heaven is opening your eyes to see. Activate your giving. Release the seed. Watch the heavens open. Sow now, and watch the exposure turn into elevation. The sting of betrayal is more than emotional. It is spiritual. And if you are feeling the tremor in your soul, if you're feeling worn from trying to explain to others why something feels off when no proof exists yet, you must understand this truth. You are not imagining the warfare. You are not paranoid. You are under surveillance, not by man, but by the spiritual realms that can see what flesh and blood often cannot. This conflict you're facing, this sudden coldness from someone you trusted, the manipulation dressed as mentorship, the subtle sabotage camouflaged as care, it's not just interpersonal friction. It's not about personality differences. This is targeted spiritual warfare, and the jealous one in your midst has become a vessel. Whether they are aware of it or not, they have been aligned with an assignment of interference, and that assignment has your name on it. What looks like rivalry is often a direct targeting of your calling. This is not about who likes you or doesn't like you. This is about what you carry. This is about the oil on your life, the favor that rests on your path, the destiny that cannot be copied, only opposed. The spirit of jealousy is ancient. It doesn't need a reason to rise. It only needs proximity to purpose. And the more your light grows, the more it threatens the shadows that have grown comfortable nearby. You are being watched because you are being weighed. But don't panic. Being targeted is a sign you are chosen. Heaven does not send messengers to warn the lukewarm. Angels do not gather for the mediocre. If Archangel Michael is involved, it is because what's being tampered with has kingdom weight. You are not just defending your peace, you are defending a portal, an assignment, a legacy. And how you respond to this test determines whether it becomes a stronghold or a stepping stone. Reaction is the hinge. If you rage, the enemy wins. If you retaliate too soon, the mission is compromised. But if you stand in spiritual maturity, if you let heaven fight while you posture yourself in wisdom, you gain ground. Every restraint becomes a seed of elevation. Now hear this clearly, envy is not harmless. It crafts distractions. It opens doors for slander. It whispers into the ears of your eyes and nudges them to back away. It tries to dim your credibility before your next elevation. It's not just emotional, it's a spiritual virus, and it spreads fast if not stopped. But Archangel Michael comes to expose motive and realign outcomes. He comes not just with a sword, but with a scale. And heaven is weighing every word, every motive, every hidden intention. Look back for a moment. Pay attention to the pattern. Did your last major breakthrough get followed by sudden loss? Did relationships shift after a moment of public favor? Did confusion or miscommunication rise in places where peace once reigned? These are not coincidences. They are spiritual diagnostics. When sabotage shadows a success, heaven is trying to reveal a pattern. Your life is not unprotected. It is under divine surveillance. Every act of quiet betrayal, every behind-the-scenes manipulation, every whisper meant to delay you, none of it escapes the courts of heaven. Your tears have been recorded. Your patience has been seen. And now, justice is awakening. Perhaps you felt numb, or maybe rage has threatened to boil over. Both are symptoms of the same test. But they must not define your response. Choose breath over bitterness. Choose clarity over chaos. Speak this aloud now. I am not moved by man. I am governed by heaven. Let that be your anchor. It's time to activate spiritual routines. Declare psalms of protection at dawn. Anoint your front door. Walk the perimeter of your home and speak Michael's name. This is not paranoia. This is protection. Set boundaries. Change schedules. Withdraw information. You are not being petty. You are practicing holy stewardship over your destiny. If someone undermines you, reframe it. Ask yourself, what is this exposing? What is heaven trying to teach me in this? You're not losing, you're being calibrated. And when you pass this test, you will not only recover, you will rise with new authority. Because when conflict is seen through spiritual eyes, it loses its power to seduce your emotions. When you reframe the betrayal, you reclaim the narrative. And when you reclaim the narrative, you regain dominion. Type "I walk in dominion" in the comments if this word finds you in the midst of confusion. Blessing code 7799 is being released over your next move. Hear this prophetic announcement. Within the next 72 hours, something will shift. A plan that's been simmering in silence is about to surface. A strategy whispered in corners will soon move into motion. There is a divine disruption coming, and heaven is not sending this message to make you anxious. Heaven is sending it to make you ready. The jealous one you sensed, the one hiding in plain sight, is about to act, and their action will confirm everything your spirit hath been discerning. This is not a coincidence. This is not random tension. This is a carefully timed maneuver, and heaven is giving you pre-warning, so you are not blindsided by betrayal. You may hear a rumor, faint but pointed. You may notice a shift in a key person's demeanor, someone who once championed you now growing silent. You may find that a project you were advancing with ease suddenly faces unexplained obstacles, delays, or changed expectations. This is not the natural. It is spiritual sabotage trying to manifest through the physical. The jealous one is beginning to move from observation to orchestration. Where before they sat and watched, now they will begin to influence. Their aim is not to destroy you in one blow, but to reroute you quietly, to subtly steer outcomes in their favor, and to turn allies against you without raising suspicion. The mask is slipping. The strategy is unraveling. And the Spirit of God is warning you in advance so that you can rise above it. Pay attention in the coming days. You will notice signs, whispered phone calls that go silent when you enter the room, unusual interest in your schedule, unexpected meetings or messages where you're not invited, but decisions about you are being made. People you once trusted may begin aligning with others without your knowledge, shifting loyalties under the influence of a quiet, envious voice. But do not panic. This is exposure in progress. Heaven sometimes allows escalation so motive can be revealed and judged. What was done in secret is now being pulled into the light, and you are being given a prophetic window to prepare. Begin reviewing your ground. Check your contracts. Review old communications. Secure sensitive information. Align yourself with a small group of loyal, spiritually mature allies. Those who pray more than they speak, who discern more than they react. Not everyone should know what you've been shown. Discernment must be paired with discretion. The name that rises in your spirit is not for spectacle. It is for strategy. Now hear this. The jealous one may try to bait you. They will provoke you. They may drop a comment, ask an invasive question, or send a message that feels urgent but off. Do not engage emotionally. Your reaction is their fuel. Let wisdom be your armor. Let silence be your strength. If you must speak, speak softly and carefully. If you must act, act with prayer-backed precision. And in this window of 72 hours, speak this prophetic liturgy 3 times daily. I walk in clarity. I dwell in protection. I release reversal. These words are not poetry, they are prophetic shields. In the spiritual realm, escalation is the final attempt before divine reversal. The enemy moves when he senses heaven is near to promoting you. Do not misinterpret this storm as failure. It is confirmation that you are on the brink of elevation. And what the enemy tried to escalate will be the very thing God uses to expose and expel the wrong influence from your life. You are not alone in this. Archangel Michael is already moving. The sword is drawn. The plan is collapsing. Heaven's surveillance has recorded every intention. And now, intervention has begun. Stay in a posture of peace. If you feel led to fast, fast. If your spirit pulls you into prayer, do not delay. Walk your home. Speak life into your environment. Declare protection over your projects, your family, your reputation, and your mind. You are not responding in fear. You are preparing in prophetic authority. This storm is not here to shake you. It is here to shift the power. What was plotted against you is about to serve you, and what was meant to confuse you will now confirm your calling. Type "I am ready" in the comments if this warning aligns with your spirit. Blessing code 4747 is now covering your steps. Be still, for when you are still, heaven fights. There is a divine strategy that human impulse cannot replicate. In times of betrayal, your first reaction may be to expose, to confront, to defend your name with volume. But this battle is not won in noise. This battle is not won in human logic. This battle is won in the silence that calls angels to stand guard. When you step back, God steps forward. When you quiet your mind, Michael draws his sword. Stillness is not passivity. Stillness is warfare done in wisdom. It is choosing not to respond with flesh when your spirit has already been equipped with divine instruction. This season requires a level of spiritual discipline many never learn. But you are being called higher. The exposure is real. The name is about to be revealed. The sabotage is unfolding. But before the next attack even forms in their mouth, heaven is giving you the tools to stay ahead of it. Every day for the next 7 days, sit in 10 minutes of stillness. Not praying for things, not venting, but listening. God is going to speak. Archangel Michael is going to move. Your environment is being examined in the spirit, so begin to tighten the boundaries around your world. Pray aloud over your home. Declare Psalm 91 at the threshold of your door. Anoint your space with oil. Speak protection into the walls, and command every hidden thing to be exposed under the authority of heaven. Protection in this hour is not just spiritual, it's practical. Change the passwords. Secure the files. Do not overshare. There are conversations that once felt safe, but they are no longer fit for this level. What was once fellowship has become surveillance. What once was support has become subtle sabotage. Do not ignore the red flags because of shared history. History does not equal loyalty. Familiarity does not equal faithfulness. You must now learn to speak with measured calm. When the jealous one approaches you with veiled questions or cloaked criticism, respond with grace but authority. Say things like, "I appreciate your concern, but I'm clear on the direction I'm taking." Or "Thanks for that insight, I'll reflect on it." Keep your power. Do not hand it over by reacting in emotion. They want your outburst. They want your defensiveness. Don't give them access to it. Silence is not weakness. It is sacred defense. When you do not explain, they cannot twist your words. When you do not engage, they cannot build a case against you. The power of silence forces exposure. It leaves the enemy to talk themselves into their own revelation. So hold your peace. Let heaven speak. Pray this short shield prayer over yourself now. Archangel Michael, place your shield around my life. Seal every conversation in truth. Return every ill intention back to its source, empty and powerless. These words are not poetic. They are spiritual legislation. Speak them when your heart starts to race. Speak them when something feels off. Speak them when their voice shows up again under the disguise of concern. Now is the time to align yourself with spiritual allies. 2 or 3 individuals whose counsel is pure, whose prayers are weighty, and whose presence doesn't drain but uplifts. Let them cover you in this time. Let them intercede. But do not broadcast your battles. Strategy requires secrecy. Mark your boundaries with ritual. Anoint your doorposts. Write a short declaration and hide it in your prayer journal. Light a candle and declare that no shadow of jealousy shall dim your path. Let every act of physical order mirror what heaven is already orchestrating in the spirit. Keep documentation. Save messages. Take notes. Heaven moves in patterns, and your record may one day become part of divine vindication. God does not forget, and He does not allow His anointed to be slandered without response. Above all, take care of your body and your mind. Rest is warfare. Sleep is surrender. Eating well, moving your body, clearing your space. These are not small things. These are acts of defiance against the stress the enemy is trying to place on you. You are not retreating, you are fortifying. You are not isolating, you are anointing your environment. What feels like withdrawal is actually repositioning. What feels like silence is preparation for your next sound of victory. Say it now, speak it loud, and declare it into the atmosphere. I am protected. I am positioned. I will not be moved. Type I am untouchable in the comments if this word seals your spirit today. Blessing code 3030 has now activated divine shielding over your household. This is the moment of divine shift. You are no longer simply the target of jealousy. You are now the testimony rising through it. What tried to hinder you has only clarified your calling. What sought to break you has only refined your discernment. Let this truth anchor your soul. You are not merely surviving sabotage. You are stepping into sovereignty. This isn't just about exposure. It's about elevation. It's about what heaven is doing with you through this. You have been stretched, strained, and spiritually sifted, and yet you did not retaliate. You did not surrender. You did not curse what God was using to carve your character. This proves something critical. You are ready. Ready to rise. Ready to reign. Ready to lead with power tempered by wisdom. Let every dart thrown at you become a brick beneath your feet. Let every whisper behind your back become a wind beneath your wings. This is no longer defense. This is divine dominion. You are the phoenix rising from the ashes of confusion. You are the warrior who has earned their armor in silence. You are the tree whose roots have wrapped deep into the soil while storms tried to snap your branches. And now the Lord says, it is time to bear fruit again. What was paused is resuming. What was delayed is accelerating. What was hidden is being uncovered, not just their intention, but your inheritance. Break the narrative of the victim. You are not the broken one. You are not the betrayed one. You are the becoming. You are the appointed. Step into the posture of a rising one, head held high, voice refined by fire, presence shaped by pressure. Your silence was not weakness, it was strategy. Your restraint was not fear, it was wisdom cloaked in spiritual obedience. Now begin again, but begin with power. Re-engage your public work with confidence. Return to your projects with precision. Rebuild your boundaries and re-establish your rhythm. Delegate wisely. Cheer less. Move quieter. But let your results speak louder than any rumor ever could. Do not hide the evidence of God's favor. Let it be seen, but let it be rooted in humility. Let your winds be windows for others, not weapons against those who tried to delay you. Do not waste your revelation. Convert it into authority. When the name is revealed, and it will be, decide from a place of wisdom whether to confront or to simply create distance. Sometimes confrontation is a closing. Other times, silence seals the shift. Not everyone deserves a seat at your table, especially if their hands are laced with resentment. Some doors must close without ceremony. Let them close. Each time you are tempted to shrink, remind yourself, elevation attracts envy. Promotion triggers exposure. But you are covered. Michael still walks with you. His sword did not return to its sheath. The battle shifted, but the war is not over. And you are gaining strength not just to withstand, but to lead others through similar valleys. Here's your empowerment exercise. See the door. The door you feared would close. And now watch it open, wider than before. See the table, not with just plates but with scrolls, assignments, invitations, strategies. Being. You are being seated in rooms where your name was once slandered. Not to prove anything, but to occupy the space God assigned to you before time began. Speak these 3 lines daily. I am not shrinking. I am rising. I am not silenced. I am refined. I am not wounded. I am walking in power. Invest in your own excellence. Improve your systems. Sharpen your skill set. Create backups. Strength leaves no room for sabotage. A fortified life cannot be easily infiltrated. Let your excellence become your answer. Let your structure become your shield. Jealousy feeds on chaos, but when you build in clarity, you disarm the one who tried to control your narrative. Do not fear this moment. You are not being watched for destruction. You are being witnessed for distinction. And as you steward this, rise well, without drama, without vengeance, without bitterness. The Lord says, I will lift you higher than the attack could ever reach. Say this now. I receive the rise. I will not go back. I stand in the strength of what I have survived. Type I am rising in the comments if you receive this empowerment. Blessing code 1818 has now unlocked the next dimension of your authority. Now, the veil is thinning, the air is heavy, and heaven is prepared to speak. But understand this before anything else. The reveal is not for revenge. It is not for gossip. It is not for spectacle. It is for strategy. Archangel Michael has drawn his sword not to humiliate, but to liberate. Heaven names the source of sabotage not to shame you or them, but to set you free. You have walked long enough in confusion, in doubt, in internal warfare. Now clarity comes, and with it, divine precision. This is the moment many fear, the moment where suspicion becomes confirmation, where peace and grief collide in one revelation, where the voice you trusted, the presence you protected, the person you once prayed with is shown to be the one secretly working against your elevation. And still, God in His mercy does not bring this revelation with rage. He brings it with refining fire, to purge, to heal, to recalibrate. Because destiny cannot afford delay. And you, beloved, are running out of time for half-hearted loyalty and false peace. You may not hear an audible voice. The name may not drop from the sky in thunder. But it will come, unmistakably. It will appear through the repetition of patterns, to a phrase someone keeps repeating that matches the tone of recent opposition, through a dream that awakens your spirit and won't let you go, through a memory that replays with new meaning, or through the sudden knowing, a spiritual fingerprint pressing on your discernment until you cannot ignore it. This person may be in your family, positioned as your confidant, appearing as your support. But what you thought was alignment was actually assignment, a dark assignment to monitor your movement, disrupt your peace, and delay your favor. In the workplace, it may be the one who always covers for you but subtly questions your capability behind closed doors. In ministry, it may be someone who mimics honor but breeds envy in the background. Their identity is hidden in plain sight. But now, heaven will illuminate. You are not crazy. You are not cruel. You are not being judgmental. You are being alerted. And you must respond with divine intelligence, not human reaction. When the name rises in your spirit, pause. Don't post. Don't confront impulsively. Don't speak it aloud prematurely. Go to your altar. Speak in the Spirit. Let God confirm with signs. Let the pattern speak. Let the fruit of their actions and inactions validate the word you've received. Here is your divine response plan. First, pause and pray. Say, God, thank you for clarity. Now teach me what to do. Second, confirm with discernment and documentation. Look at the patterns. Track the damage. Connect the dots. Third, consult two trusted voices, mature and spirit-led, who will pray with you in confidentiality. Fourth, decide on your next move, either confrontation led by peace or quiet distance led by wisdom. Fifth, protect your space, your spirit, and your future by setting new boundaries. You are not here to humiliate. You are here to elevate. Do not use the revelation as a weapon. It's not justice of this judgment. And when you become what you've been hurt by, the enemy wins. Instead, let this revelation be the foundation of freedom. You now know where the leak was. You now know who was shaking your ladder as you tried to climb. You now know who smiled in the spotlight but cast shadows behind the curtain. Speak this now, by Michael's revelation. I reclaim what was stolen and walk into open doors. Say it again until your spirit registers the weight of it. Say it again until grief becomes gratitude. Say it again until clarity becomes courage. And don't be surprised if after the reveal, you feel sorrow. That's normal. That's human. That's healing. Sometimes the person repents. Other times they are removed. Both are mercy. Both are movement. Both are for your good. Because where you're going, your soul must be light. Your discernment must be sharp. And your circle must be pure. Clarity is energy. And now that heaven has named the weight, you can finally walk free. You can finally run. Type "the name is known" in the comments if this message confirms what your spirit already suspected. Blessing code 4141 is releasing angelic order to surround your clarity with peace. If heaven just revealed something to your spirit, if this message confirmed what you've been quietly discerning, don't let this word stop with you. Your support helps it reach someone else standing at the edge of deception, someone about to trust the wrong voice and lose their destiny's momentum. When you sow into this prophetic ministry, through super thanks, membership, or a seed offering via PayPal linked in the video description, you are activating deliverance for someone else's timeline. You are not just helping a channel. You are helping heaven disrupt cycles of sabotage and confusion in lives around the globe. You are sending light into darkness. I heard the Spirit say, when you release what's in your hand, I will release what has been held up in theirs. Your support is not a donation. It's a decree, a declaration that you stand with the mission of exposing darkness and igniting discernment across the earth. Partner with the Word. Support the mission. Watch the mantle of clarity fall on others just as it has fallen on you. Move now and watch what heaven does next. Now that clarity has come, action must follow. Heaven never reveals without reason. And once the mask has been removed, once the name has risen, once the presence has been confirmed, you are standing at a crossroad. One path leads to cycles repeating, familiar patterns, and delay dressed up as comfort. The other path, it leads to acceleration, divine fulfillment, and a season where your feet finally match your calling. And heaven is saying this now, it's time to activate your destiny. Revelation without movement is just unused power. Discernment without obedience becomes a burden. God did not show you the hidden saboteur, the silent competitor, the one quietly draining your joy, just so you could sit in sorrow or analysis. He revealed it so you could move into alignment with your original anointing. And to align is to act. This is where many falter. They get stuck between pain and purpose. The betrayal still echoes. The wound is still fresh. But hear this. Healing does not require stillness forever. Movement brings clarity. Obedience brings healing. And momentum breaks the grip of what was. You are not just a survivor of sabotage. You are the steward of a next-level assignment. So what must you do now? First, declare your yes again. A full, unashamed, unshaken yes to the call of God on your life. Say it with fire. Say it with clarity. Say it even if your emotions are still catching up. Heaven doesn't need your perfection. It needs your permission. A willing heart opens prophetic doors. Begin each morning with prophetic declarations. Before your feet hit the ground, say this: I am called. I am covered. I am moving forward with nothing missing and nothing broken. These are not affirmations. They are spiritual codes. Speak them aloud. Let them anchor your focus and command your day. Then take one action, big or small, that signals to heaven and earth that you are in motion. Resume the project. Launch the vision. Submit the application. Have them meet you. Your movement will signal to God, I believe you. I am ready. Destiny doesn't accelerate on emotion. It responds to obedient action. So protect your space, but do not retreat into isolation. Protect your heart, but do not stop showing up. The person who was jealous of you wanted your confidence dismantled, your voice silenced, your influence watered down. But your best response is to rise, strategically, wisely, but without apology. Now is also the time to form a spiritual accountability circle. 2 or 3 people you trust, one for mentorship, one for spiritual insight, one for practical grounding. This is not a crowd. This is a council. Don't carry the weight of destiny alone. Isolation feels safe, but collaboration multiplies strength. Even Jesus moved with 3 on the mountain. Your circle matters now more than ever. Secure your environment, not just spiritually, but practically. Review your business. Lock down your passwords. Guard your creative ideas. The jealous one may be exposed, but sabotage doesn't always leave quickly. Keep your house in order. Let wisdom preserve what favor is about to increase. And don't forget this: testimony is a weapon. When the moment is right, and only when God confirms the timing, share your journey with integrity. Don't gossip. Don't slander. But release the power of how God carried you through. Others need your story. Someone else is where you were, and your voice might be the signal that pulls them out. This next 30 days will determine the trajectory of your next 3 years. Set measurable goals. Create accountability. Ask yourself each day, did I move in purpose or did I freeze in pain? Let that question lead you into clarity. Let every step be a seed in the soil of your assignment. Heaven is ready. Your angels are positioned. Archangel Michael has cleared the path. Now walk through the door. Not hesitantly, not nervously, but with bold surrender and strategic execution. Your clarity has come. Your name is protected. Your path is open. Say this now with boldness. I say yes. My destiny is moving. My time is now. Again, my time is now. Type I am activated in the comments if your spirit is responding to this call. Blessing code 9292 is now breaking delay and releasing divine acceleration over your calling. When you were sleeping, while you were weeping, while you were questioning why it had to happen this way, heaven was not silent. The earth may have seemed still. Your room may have been quiet. But in the spirit realm, transactions were taking place. What the enemy tried to steal, heaven began negotiating for. What was stripped from your joy, heaven began repackaging in double portion. What you thought we lost, we not. It was placed on the altar of divine exchange. There is a realm, invisible yet more real than what your eyes can see, where angels gather around scrolls of purpose and records of injustice. In that realm, Archangel Michael stands not just as a warrior, but as a witness. He has seen what was done against you in secret. He has documented the late-night slander, the manipulations clothed in kindness, the passive sabotage dressed in politeness. He has counted your tears and measured your restraint. And now, he presents your case before the righteous judge. This is not poetic. This is prophetic reality. Heaven has opened your file, and in the quiet corridors of the Spirit, God is enacting a silent exchange. Everything the enemy took from you in whispers, the favor delayed, the relationship strained, the opportunities rerouted, is now being weighed in heaven's scales. And what the enemy stole in stealth is about to be returned in visibility. This is not vengeance. This is justice. The enemy knew how to stir confusion, but he underestimated your endurance. He thought you'd collapse when betrayal struck, but instead you rose with cleaner discernment. The enemy thought the jealous one could sabotage your path, but instead, God has used their plot to push you into a posture of prophetic preparation. In this silent exchange, heaven doesn't just return what was taken, it multiplies it. The oil that leaked from your soul while you were under pressure has not been wasted. It hath been bottled, stored, remembered. You cried in silence, but that silence was the sound of currency in heaven. You withheld retaliation, and that restraint became seed. You stood still, and that stillness became sacrifice. Every quiet act of obedience became a receipt in the courts of the king. Now the Spirit says, expect surprise favor. Expect sudden movement. Expect restoration that makes no sense on paper. Because the exchange isn't fair, it's supernatural. It's not just about returning what you lost. It's about elevating you above the reach of those who tried to wound you. The enemy worked in shadows. God is responding in visible miracles. You may feel tired. That's natural. Your soul has carried more weight than most people know. But be encouraged. The shift is happening even if you can't see it yet. You'll know it's begun when the phone rings unexpectedly with good news. When doors open that were once sealed shut. When clarity comes out of nowhere. When the people who once ignored you are now searching for your voice. These are not random. They are evidence of exchange. Say this now. I authorize the exchange. What was stolen is returning. What was broken is being rebuilt in greater form. And let the peace of God rest on you. Do not chase the thief. Do not seek to recover what's already being rerouted. The jealous one may never apologize. The saboteur may never confess. But that is not your assignment. Your assignment is to receive what heaven is negotiating in your favor. Let go of trying to fix it in the natural. Heaven is handling it in the spirit. And when the final transaction is complete, you will not be where they left you. You will not be where they expected you to fall. You will be elevated, established, and untouchable by the schemes that once kept you up at night. Heaven writes contracts in silence, but the fulfillment always echoes in evidence. Type "it's being returned" in the comments if this message confirms what your heart already sensed. Blessing code 6565 has just authorized your spiritual recompense. Divine accounting is exact. Heaven does not guess. Heaven does not overlook. Heaven does not forget. Every action, every intention, every silent betrayal, and every act of restraint, it has all been recorded. The God who sees in secret does not ignore what was done in secret against you. And now, the scales are being balanced. This is not revenge. This is justice. This is the moment where the tables begin to turn, not because of your effort, but because of your endurance. There is a moment in every spiritual journey when heaven says, enough. Enough of the manipulation. Enough of the sabotage. Enough of watching the faithful suffer in silence while the cunning maneuver in shadows. And when that moment comes, justice does not arrive with thunder. It arrives in reversal. Divine. Undeniable. Inevitable. Divine reversal is not about watching your enemies suffer. It's about witnessing your restoration, multiplied. What they tried to destroy, God is restoring. But not to the condition it was in before the betrayal. No, He's restoring with interest. The delay has made you deeper. The loss has made you sharper. The confusion has forged a clarity in you that no platform could teach. And now, as the reversals begin, you'll notice that it doesn't look like revenge. It looks like vindicated purpose. It looks like influence. It looks like divine acceleration. It looks like favor finding you again, but this time, in places where sabotage cannot follow. Let me speak this plainly. They will watch God favor you. The same ones who tried to block you will see doors open that they cannot close. The same mouths that spread rumors will now be silenced by the results God produces in your life. The same systems that were weaponized against you will turn and work for you. This is not your doing. It is not your reputation being protected. It is God's name being honored through your story. You've walked through the fire and didn't smell like smoke. You were thrown into pits that were supposed to bury you, but they became wells of new vision. Now the heavens are opening over you again. And this time, the rain won't come with confusion. It will come with clarity, completion, and commissioning. You'll know the reversal has begun when the ones who overlooked you tried to reconnect. When platforms that once ignored your voice suddenly make space. When opportunities that bypassed you begin to reappear, only this time you get to choose whether to accept them. Because reversal is not just about restoration. It's about reclamation of power. And power is never about noise. It's about knowing who you are and walking accordingly. Speak this aloud now. Everything stolen is returning in multiplied form. What was done against me is now working for me. I receive divine reversal. Don't rejoice in the downfall of others. That is not the heart of heaven. Rejoice that the delay didn't derail you. Rejoice that the pain didn't poison you. Rejoice that what was meant to shatter you only shaped you. That's what spiritual justice looks like, not just correction, but completion. Not just exposure, but elevation. Not just healing, but holy reintroduction. You are being reintroduced. Not to others, but to yourself. You are not the person who was betrayed. You are the person who survived it and kept their integrity. You are not the wounded one. You are the one walking with evidence of restoration. Look for the signs. A random confirmation, a repeating number, a dream that speaks louder than your fear, a divine appointment, an apology, a turning of tides. These are not just events. They are evidence that the judge has ruled in your favor. And now, spiritual justice is manifesting in the earth. This is what the jealous one could never block. They didn't just fail to sabotage your life. Your interference became the catalyst for your promotion. What the enemy meant to use as a trap, heaven has used as a testimony. Say it now. Seal it in your spirit. Divine reversal has begun. I forgive. I release. I rise. Type I have been vindicated in the comments if you receive this divine justice. Blessing code 5151 is confirming your case has been ruled in heaven's court, and your reward has been released. The sword has fallen. The veil has lifted. The jealous one has been exposed. But this is not where your story ends. This is where your authority begins. You have not just received a word. You have received a divine commissioning. The revelation that came was not to leave you in suspicion. It was to place you in position. The silence, the stillness, the weeping, none of it was wasted. It was preparation for the moment you are now standing in. Hear this now. You are covered. Archangel Michael has not left your side. He was there when the betrayal began. He was present when you cried without answers. And he will walk beside you now as you move into divine fulfillment. Every lie is being undone. Every weapon is being dismantled. Every word spoken against your progress is being reversed. Heaven is not only on your side, heaven is now clearing the path in front of you. This is your final affirmation, not a suggestion, not a hope, but a heaven-sent decree. No more sabotage, no more delay, no more confusion. The name hath been revealed. The truth has been confirmed. My future is no longer entangled in false alliances or deceptive peace. Say this aloud. I am sealed. I am seen. I am sent. What was hidden has been revealed. What was stolen is returning. I will rise. Say it again, with authority, I will rise. Let your spirit hear it. Let your mind believe it. Let every force that tried to shake you feel the power of your alignment. Now take a moment of stillness, a sacred pause. Give heaven room to finalize the work. Just 3 minutes, no speaking, no striving, no planning. Breathe. Sit in divine security. Let the peace of God flood back into the areas where fear and suspicion once ruled. This is your reset. This is your release. Do not run to confront. Do not rush to explain. Allow heaven to govern the strategy. What is yours cannot be stolen, and what has been revealed cannot be unseen. You are now responsible to steward this revelation with wisdom, to walk carefully, to speak sparingly, and to move as one who has been chosen and preserved. From this moment forward, see yourself differently. Not as a target, but as a testimony. Not as the wounded, but as the walking healed. Heaven has invested too much in you for you to return to old patterns or broken places. You have passed through fire, and now the Lord says you are ready. So walk forward, with fire in your voice, with strength in your step, with vision in your eyes. Archangel Michael marches with you. The sword has cleared your path. The blessing has overtaken the curse. The watch has ended. Your season of increase is no longer delayed. Type IT is finished in the comments if this word has marked your spirit and sealed your path. Blessing code 1010 has closed the old chapter and unlocked the new. You have just walked through a prophetic unveiling. You felt the weight, the fire, the clarity, and now you are standing on the edge of impact. Will you help this message reach someone else? Someone whose discernment is awakening, someone who's one confirmation away from breaking free. When you support this channel, through super thanks, membership, or a PayPal offering using the link in the video description, you're sowing into deliverance. You're not funding a platform. You're fueling a move of God. You're not giving to keep content alive. You are planting the word into the lives of the next listener who needs it before it's too late. God's word never returns void, and when you give, you participate in its multiplication. I declare over every giver, the same sword that protected this message will protect your household. The same clarity you've received will follow your seed. Don't wait. Don't scroll past. If this word changed something in you, let your giving change something in someone else. Support now, and let your seed speak.